Alrighty guys, I'm still plugging away in this. I'm not feeling up to porting that other cylinder. I did get this one done though. I'll show it to you. Not nothing crazy. Here's the big lowers. There's the uppers. I shaped the secondaries a little different on this one than I normally do because I had different tooling. My other tooling went bad, so I had to improvise. Should still run really good. It's different tooling I used on the exhaust too. Numbers on this one is 80 on the intake, 102 on the exhaust, and 125. I just set both uppers the same. Maxed out the lowers. Gave it 20,000 squish. I'm doing no piston work. I got this piece modified. I'm going to make the carburetor fully adjustable, but I'm not thinning the shafts on this one. Still got to do a muffler mod. I think I'm just going to do a single 1-inch outlet like I normally do on my work saws. This one's slightly different. I mean, it should be slightly more aggressive than my normal work build, but it's not as aggressive as some of my personal saws. But I'm not gonna modify the carburetor on this because this is a work saw. This thing's gonna get the snot beat out of it, and I want it to be easily serviceable. So, you know, once you thin the shafts and stuff, it's almost impossible to pull shafts and stuff out of the carburetor. I don't think these, for work saws, I don't think these need piston work. On my personal toy saws, I do piston work. But I think this thing will be just absolutely fine. It should be in the 5.6 to probably 5.8 range. You know, at worst 5.5. I think the very for power wise, the very worst one I've ever done was 5.23. However, though, that was one of my really good work builds that I kind of really missed that saw. I kind of wished I wouldn't have sold that one. It was fun enough to beat the snot out of all day, and it was zippy enough to have fun with. But I don't know, once you play with a 6-horse one, you kind of don't want to go back. So, but this should give him super long life. You shouldn't have any issues with it. These things are an absolutely incredible saw. They have massive bearings. I mean, don't get me wrong, stock for stock, the 550 is probably, for new saws, is probably king of the hill for performance out of the box. And then next would probably be the 261, then the 501. After porting, if you're going out for all out, like how hard you can juice on the saw, like pull on it in the wood and stuff, 501 4910 of today's saws is cream of the crop. Then next would be the 550 and then the 261 if porting. If you're going by durability, this thing will still be running, even ported, long after your 550 done crapped out the crank bearings. I don't know what it is with them 5 Series saws, but they sure don't hold up good on the crank bearings. I know several tree services that's had nothing but on the 550s and the 562s, some 572s, just crank bearing failure after crank bearing failure after crank bearing failure after they get some hours on them. Whereas these things, I've pushed these things at like 18,700 RPM and stuff, and never failed the bearing, which at them speeds you're building crazy heat. These things are a rock solid little workhorse. But if you're going for, you know, if someone wants a zippy saw right out of the box, stock for power, it is hard to beat a 550 Mark II. Them things Even in racing, after they're ported for actual speed, they're really hard to beat. My stickers in the shin nip the heels on some pretty fast ones out there. But if you're, that's in Littlewood. If you was to throw a 24-inch block of oak up there, throw a 20 or 24-inch bar on them, these 4910s and 501s ported up will just knock the snot out of them, and where you need the pull. So I guess it depends on what you're after, but I personally think for the money, you can't go wrong with these things. And you do this kind of work to them right there, and they're just a reliable animal. They're zippy. They got a nice grunty, tony sound to them. They're just a super fun saw. Now, as far as comfort goes, are these as comfortable to run as the 550 and 261? No, this has more of an old 044, 036 feel, which makes sense because it's the same design, very similar design rubber mounts. It's a very rugged system, but if you're one of the ones that got hand problems and fatigue easy or whatever, these might not be for you. But if you love an 044 and love cutting with an 044 like I do, these things are the ticket because they're like a miniature 044 as far as feel, as far as I'm concerned. The Achilles heel on them, the air filter. That's about it. The AV mounts and the air filter if you don't like vibration. And I don't think they're bad, but compared to the Mark II, yeah, the Mark II is smooth as silk. But tailor your chain good, and this is smooth too. If you get it too chattery, yeah, you'll feel it. But yeah, I like the fact that this has an inboard clutch where it's easy to change your sprockets and stuff. There's pluses and minuses to outboard clutches. Plus side is it keeps the heat out of the case, helps with it anyway. Downside is makes it a bear to change your spur sprocket and your bar and chain when you're doing lots of swapping. I guess if you were weaned on them saws, the outboard clutch ain't that big a deal. But I personally don't like outboard clutches. I hate outboard clutch and I hate front fed chain tensioners. I've had several really sweet saws over the years, like that 10 horse 395, and I traded it off. In fact, I got rid of the other 395 that I picked up at Sawfest there. Never even ran it. That was built by Gary Buxton. Never even ran it, never even put gas in it. I don't know. I don't know. Front fed chain tensioner and outboard clutch just doesn't do it for me. The only reason I keep that 550, it's a hoot to run, it's light, it's small, and you guys seem to like it, and it's nice comparing things. But I don't do a lot of bar swapping on it. Trying to think what else is there. Yeah, I run into the same problem with the 346s too. That outboard clutch, I just don't like it. But I showed you the port work. That's done. Showed you the game plan. I got to do the muffler mod and throw this thing back together and get it bench tuned. I will probably do a bench run tune video just to put you guys out some content. We got to turn Slax's 460 over and cook the other side of it in ultrasonic cleaner. And I'm just going to keep on jamming out to some music out here and getting some things done. So there's the port work on this Tree Service 501. You guys take it easy.